Hi, and welcome to the pilot episode for Too Good to Last, where we'll be looking at short-lived TV shows that definitely deserve your time. But for this week, let's take a look at a show that was a lot like Star Trek Voyager, except for kids, and not shit. It was called Space Cases, and it was too good to last. The story follows 5 preteen students at Star Academy, trying to become this universe's version of Starfleet cadets, basically. Trying being the operative word, as they are apparently the 5 worst students in their class. As such, they are barred from taking a flight exam to move on.
We deserve our shot. It's not fair.
The vacuum of space isn't fair either, Mr. Band. It can destroy anyone who doesn't have what it takes to survive. And none of you has what it takes.
Opportunity knocks on their door, or hatch as it were, when a mysterious alien craft docks at their station, with no visible crew on board. Being the geniuses they are, the kids climb aboard to investigate, followed later by their teachers Seth Goddard, a disgraced military commander with a shady past, and Miss Davenport, who screams a lot. Due to a string of bad luck and poor decisions, the ship and its makeshift crew end up a long ways away from home.
The length of our trip back will be 7 years, 4 months, and 22 days.
Now, the crew of the Krista, the name of the alien ship, must work together to get back home, a task made even harder when they discover that they're deep in Spung territory, an evil alien race ruled by Warlord Shank. The series ran in 1996 and 1997 and was created by TV and comic writer Peter David, who worked on such franchises as Star Trek and The Incredible Hulk, and actor Bill Mumy, who played Will Robinson in Lost in Space and Lanier on Babylon 5, another show that David wrote for. And those aren't the only recognizable faces from the show. Among the main cast were Walter Emmanuel Jones, who you may better remember for this part,
It's morphin' time.
and Jewel Staite, who you may remember better for this role.
Going on a year now, I ain't had nothing twixt my nethers weren't run on batteries.
Oh, God.
Also, while you may not recognize the face of Warlord Shank under all the makeup, you should recognize his voice.
This carries enough electricity to peel the skin off your body, Earther. Trust me, you do not want my worst. Oh my.
However, it's not just the cast that made the show good, but the characters in general, who were all surprisingly interesting and well-developed for a 90s kids show. Unlike a lot of kids shows, these kids are not the best and brightest or even the unwilling but still noble when the chips are down heroes. They're screw-ups and scared kids who are trying to survive and they can barely stand each other. From the supposedly psychotic Catalina, who possesses poor social skills, to the introverted Radu, who possesses no sense of self-worth, and the overconfident Harlan, the main character, who's actively racist.
I don't like Andromedans. Period.
In fact, the show itself dealt with a lot more adult topics and darker subjects. In addition to the general feeling of mistrust between the shipmates, including the racism and violence, the show also dealt with grief, death, child abuse, torture, and war. In fact, one of my favorite episodes, Prisoner of Luff, features false imprisonment and the use of lobotomy as a means to control people.
Come with me and we'll get out of here. Long live the love. Long live the love.
That's not to say the show was all dark and serious and gritty. The general tone was actually, for better or worse, rather campy. Those familiar with Peter David's other work should recognize a lot of odd touches and broad humor, particularly his love of puns and wordplay, which appears frequently, especially around the character of Thelma, the ship's confused android assistant.
Can you turn us around? Can you turn the ship around?
Oh, I will need much bigger arms.
The lighthearted tone mixed with some poor production value may turn off some viewers, but I think if you can get past it, you'll find something far more interesting and deep than you were expecting. It's fun, it's got a lot more to it than you might expect, and it's a great way to get newcomers, especially young kids, into science fiction, and is even a great light science fiction show for people who are more into that. Sadly, due to licensing issues and legal problems, no VHS or DVD versions ever got released, at least as of this review. Fortunately, a fan has uploaded the whole show onto YouTube, so you can find it there, although I wouldn't expect the best video quality. Still, if you're interested, I say check it out. Those open-minded enough might just be pleasantly surprised with what they find.
Despair.